well. I can see that you know, everyone's on board and things are moving very well with ASEA, and I'm very happy to have you guys be part of the team, as well as people that's new to ASEA. This is our founding Malaysian diamond, Mr. Poh Ted Ang, that's been giving us a series of training on personal development, on mindset, on visualization, on goal setting, and today is going to surprise us for another set of trainings that I'm sure it will benefit for your ASEA business plus your life as well, you know, in terms of relationship with your family, your friends, in terms of how to bring up best in us as well. So with this itself, I would like to introduce you to Mr. Poh Ted Ang to carry on with the call.
Thank you very much, Derek Chiu, for the great introduction. Also for sharing with me about ASEA. That was last year, and it has been a great journey coming together as a team here. And we have been doing this particular seminar for the last 6 weeks right now. Today will be the 6th 1-hour training that we are doing on the 8 success principles, how to get from where you are to where you want to be. And it's good to see that we have here with us at Zoom Live, and at the same time at the Facebook Live. I'd like to welcome you all to this afternoon training. More often than not, Saturday, during the normal time, a lot of people will spend time going out, you know, to with their families and having their own leisure time. But you took the time, even during this MCO or which is movement control order in Malaysia, or the circuit breaker in Singapore, or the ECQ down in the Philippines, to take time just to spend an hour together on personal and leadership development, which to me, it is one of the very, very important, what I call aspect of our life if we want to become successful. I still remember Jim Rohn, one of my mentors, once said that if you work hard on your job, you're going to just earn a living. But if you're going to work hard on yourself, you're going to earn a fortune. So to me, this is really, really true, because I started off as an entrepreneur way back in 1986. So it's more than 30 years right now. So I owe my journey of success to very much on a personal and leadership development. So to have you to engage in this particular personal development seminar is so important. Today, the topic that we're going to share with you, as you can see behind my backdrop, is practice persistent. To a lot of people, they do not actually persist in terms of achieving their dreams and their goals. Every one of us do have our own dreams and goals. The key is to be persistent, to pursue all your dreams and all your goals. And all dreams and all goals can come true if you have the courage to pursue them, as been said by Walt Disney. So today we're going to talk about practice persistent. So I'm going to share with you my screen. All right. Okay, I'm going to share my screen here. Okay, as I mentioned, the 8 success principles, how to get from where you are to where you want to be. That is the dreams of every one of us, to be able to get to the destination that we define, that we desire for our success in life. So today we're going to talk about practice persistent, which is one of the very, very important topics. If you look at all the high achievers, all the successful people in the world, they all practice persistent. More often than not, when you really look at people who are successful, you see that they are often misunderstood. The reason is because they have a very different character. Sometimes people say that they are very selfish, heartless, or cold-blooded. The reason why they say that is because the way they practice persistent is that they really, really, really follow through in everything that they set up for, and they are putting a lot of hard work and with a strong willpower to achieve the desire that they want. You see, especially during this time of COVID-19 pandemics right now, which is unprecedented, to a lot of people, when they're faced with challenges, more often than not, they will give up. They will throw in the towel. They do not want to continue to pursue their dream because of challenges that to them is uh, too big for them to actually handle. But all successful people, when they look at an obstacle, they will look at the obstacle as a stepping stone instead of a stumbling block. So this is one of the very, very important attitudes that you need to adopt, more so in challenging times, especially during this COVID crisis that we are facing. So the attitude that every one of us must subscribe to is to never, never, never give up. It have been said that quitters never win and winners never quit, and this is very important. As we want to go back to the couple of success principles, and I know that some of you here have not actually attended the last 5 seminars they have done, the 5 one-hour seminar they have done. You can still go back to the YouTube channel, pohteang.com. You can go to YouTube channel to actually watch the video. The first seminar that we did was take 100% responsibility for your life and for your results. And this is very, very important. A lot of people, when they want to talk about taking 100% responsibility, they are not willing to take, they are not take 100% responsibility. They blame it on other people. They make complaints. And these are one of the very important prerequisites, the core foundation, the core success principle to take you from where you are to where you want to be. So no complaining, no blaming, and act as if that you are 100% in control of the results for your life. And the second principle that we talked about was decide what you want, envision your ideal life, meaning to say that you have to dream big, assuming that you can have everything you want in your life. What would that be? What do you want to do and what do you want to have? Third principle that we talk about is unleash the power of goal setting, how to turn your dreams and your vision into measurable goals, meaning to say how much by when, what is it that you really want? Make it measurable. The fourth principle that we talked about was the power of visualization. This is also a very, very powerful principle, and we teach you how to use the principle to your advantage to create the success that you want. When you talk about visualization, our mind cannot actually define what is real, what is not real. So basically, you can take it to your advantage to actually visualize. And we do have a lot of studies that is done pertaining to visualization about how basketballer, by just visualizing in their practice, they are able to achieve success. And we can also apply it in our personal and our professional life. Last week, we talked about taking massive action to reap massive rewards. And I'm not sure about you all, whether have you taken any action or have you taken any massive action towards the dreams and the goals that you have set for your own personal life and for your family and your loved one, all right? So today we are going to talk about practice persistent, never, never give up, all right? So to talk about it, we like to define what is persistent. Persistent is defined by this gentleman, which is Napoleon Hill. Napoleon Hill is the gentleman who is an author of Think and Grow Rich. He is one of the master of personal and leadership development, which I have read his book way back 30 years ago. And I have been continuing going back to his book because his book has wealth of knowledge pertaining to personal development. If today you are not someone who likes to read books, and if there's only one book that you read on personal development, go and grab hold of this book called Think and Grow Rich. And in this particular slides here, you see that the definition by Napoleon Hill is that on persistent is that it is an essential factor in the procedure of transmuting desire into monetary equivalent. So this is very important. If you want to see success, whether it's in monetary form or in your own personal growth and success, you got to actually practice persistence. It is a sustained effort that is necessary to induce faith. A lot of people give up halfway. They throw towel halfway because they do not have faith in themselves. They do not believe in themselves. They do not believe in the company that they work with, the product that you work with. So the basis of persistence here is the power of your will. So this is very, very important. And when you talk about Napoleon Hill, there's a couple of what I call quotation that I like best. Is one of them is Every adversity, every failure, every headache carries with it the seed of an equal and a greater benefit. So when you're faced with challenges, when you're faced with obstacles, always believe that there is always a seed of greater benefit ahead of you. So don't give up too easily. And of course, one of his famous quotation is, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. So this is so fundamental for us to understand that you have to conceive, you have to know what you really want, you got to believe it in your heart, and at the same time, believing that you can achieve it, all right? So we have been talking about setting goals for our 7 areas of our life, the 7 dreams and vision category that we talk about, the financial aspect of it, the career and business aspect of it, your time freedom, your fun time and recreation, health and fitness, relationship, personal and your spiritual life, and making a contribution and leaving a legacy. So these are the 7 dreams and vision category. If you have not done that, revisit it again on this particular video and start to write down what is it that you really want. Because if you do not know what you want for your life, for your own personal life or your professional life, chances is that you do not have to proceed to take any action at all. You know, you don't have to take any action at all. So this is very important. So when we talk about persistence, one of the portrait of an achiever is this gentleman. I'm not sure you know who is it, but basically this gentleman in 1931, when he was only in his 20s, lost his job. And in 1932, he defeated for state legislature. And in 1833, he failed in business and he went bankrupt. 1935, his sweetheart, his fiancée actually dies. And in 1836, he suffered from a nervous breakdown, which is very serious. In 1838, defeated in election again. In 1843, defeated for nomination to US Congress. 1848, defeated once again for US Congress. 1849, rejected for a position as a land officer. In 1854, defeated for US Senate. And in 1856, defeated for nomination to become the vice president. And guess what? If you are someone like him who have gone through so much struggle, would you be still persisting to pursue your dreams? For this particular gentleman, in 1858, he defeated again in the US Senate, and only in 1860, he was elected the President of the United States. This gentleman is Abraham Lincoln. He became the 16th President of the United States. And if you want to talk about persistence, you will be able to hear stories after stories about this particular gentleman. There is Abraham Lincoln on how he actually persisted despite, you know, all the challenges and struggles that he go through. And the second person that I want to share with you, the success story of the Wright brother, Orville and Wilbur Wright. The reason why I want to share with you story is to help you to break, to actually build up your brain cell pertaining to what is possible. You know, in the Wright brothers story is very interesting. The Wright brothers stories went back in 1903 when the New York Times editors questioned the wisdom of the Wright brothers, but reading the next week, they are able to actually, from their own backyard in a bicycle shop, they put together an equipment together with to be able to fly. And today we have aeroplane that is flying around the world, taking us to different places within a short period of time. So we found they are persistent in terms of trying. If they were to actually give up halfway after listening to people who don't believe in them, chances that today we will not be able to fly around the world with the aeroplane that we are flying today. So that sparks of very important dreams of the Wright brothers. This particular gentleman, I think everybody also know him. He is Thomas Edison. And this is also a very interesting story. Thomas Edison, one day, he went back home and inside his pocket was a note that says that Tommy is stupid to learn, get him out of the school by his teacher. So his mother read and was very disheartened. And he said that Tommy is not stupid to learn, but I'm going to teach him by myself. And Tommy grew up to be Thomas Edison, who invented the light bulbs. And reporter, however, asked this question: how often did Thomas Edison fail in terms of creating, in terms of actually developing the light bulb? And his answer was always he have never failed, but he have actually found, you know, 1,000 ways of how a light bulb is not successful through his research, through his trial in his labs. So again, without Thomas Edison, every one of us here would be actually living without lights. The other gentleman is this guy, Walt Disney. Walt Disney also have a very interesting story. Walt Disney, when he was a young cartoonist, he faced many rejections from newspaper editors who said that he had no talent at all. He was fired from one of them because of lack of imagination, and he do not have original ideas. So one day, a minister in the church actually hired him to draw some cartoons. And Disney was working in a small mouse-infected shed near the church. And one day, while he was doing his creativity, doing his drawing, he saw a mouse, and that particular mouse that inspired him to start off with what we call the Mickey Mouse that you see at Walt Disney everywhere around at the Disneyland, everywhere around the world. So a lot of people would have actually given up hopes, giving up the dreams when they are actually bombarded with people who don't believe in them. But successful people are always persistent with their dreams. They never give up. They would continue to pursue their dreams. This particular gentleman, if you were to look at it here, is Jack Ma. And I know that many of you here know Jack Ma, and many of you here may or may not know his story, but Jack Ma actually is the founder of Alibaba Group. In 2014, he actually brought Alibaba Group to IPO in New York, US listed company. And it was actually the highest in term of the IPO that they raised in the history in the New York Stock Exchange, and that is Jack Ma. And this is what Jack Ma had got to say. He said, never give up. Today, what did he say? He said that today is hard, tomorrow will be worse, but the day after tomorrow will be sunshine. So he's talking about that in lives, we're going to expect that we are going to go through hard time. They were going to be facing things that is going to be worse. We've got to be prepared for it. But always remember that to never give up, because tomorrow will be sunshine. Next slide here I want to share with you is the short story of Alibaba. Jack Ma. Jack Ma basically failed a key primary school test twice, and he failed at middle school 3 times. And he also failed for 3 years at university, and he applied for jobs and got rejected. 30 of the jobs that he applied, he got rejected. And he even applied for KFC China. When KFC went into China, he applied for it. Out of the 24 people who actually applied for the job, guess what? He was the only sole person that was rejected for the job. And he applied for Harvard 10 times and got rejected also. And guess what? Now he is actually lecturing at giving speeches at the Harvard University. So this gentleman, like what you see on the screen down here, is just a very humble Chinese guy who have a dreams of wanting to take his idea to the world, to help a lot of young entrepreneurs, to empower them to be able to be in business for themselves through the online e-commerce platform. And today, he is one of the richest men down in China. Here's another very interesting story that I want to share with you, and it's KFC. Just now we are just talking about McDonald's. KFC is everywhere around the world. It doesn't matter where you go, you see there's a KFC. For the younger generation, some of them did not know what is the acronym of KFC stand for. It's Kentucky Fried Chicken. And some of you may not know who is the founder of KFC. The founder of KFC is Colonel Harlan Sanders. And this is a very, very interesting story I want to share with you here. He only started KFC at the age of 65 years old. Can you imagine this? For a lot of people who are at their 60s, they have already decided not to do anything. but Colonel Harlan Sanders just started his career to develop his recipe on the KFC at the age of 65. Isn't that amazing? 65 years old. And the reason why he did that is when he first received his social security check of 105, not 99, was the day when he thought that the government thought that he is not able to support himself. So he got the security checks. That really changed his mindset about what he wanted to do. He was broke. He owned a small house and a beat up car. So he made a decision to change when they received these particular checks. And the only ideas that he had was just a simple chicken recipe, which his friends liked it. The chicken recipe is from his mother. And with that idea in mind, he took massive action. As we mentioned last week, you need to take massive action when you have an idea. And Colonel Sanders took massive action. And this way, he started to go out there to sell his idea. So he left his house in Kentucky and traveled to many states in the United States to sell his ideas. So guess what? A lot of people turned down to his idea. He went on restaurants after restaurant, giving people free trials, you know, and nobody is actually responding to his offer to take up his recipe and to start to do business with him. So what he wanted was just a return on by sharing his particular recipe, meaning to say that he just wanted to start something like a franchise business, that if people would take up his recipe, all he wants is that you pay me a small percentage, you know, on every piece of the chicken soul, and I will share with you this particular recipe. So Colonel Sanders also have faced a lot of rejections. In actual fact, he have actually faced 1,009 rejection until he got the 1,009 no's. Then he got the first yes, and that's how he started KFC. And you see this around the world right now. So at the age of 65 years old, starting his career to start off KFC, is it possible? What we have learned here is that it is possible, and it takes you to take the action when you have the idea, and you got to be persistent. So many of us may have actually given up hopes, given up our dreams, given our ideas of actually pursuing whatever that we want to pursue if we are faced with rejection. Look at all those successful people, be it Abraham Lincoln, whether Jack Ma, whether it's people like Walt Disney, whether the Wright brothers or Thomas Edison, or people like Colonel Sanders. They will be facing with a lot of rejections after rejections after rejections. So, but the key thing is that they never quit. They continue to pursue their dreams. They have a big why they want to do it, and relentlessly they actually take massive action to make their dreams come true. So age is not a barrier, including capital is not a barrier. So a lot of people would think that, you know, to start a business, you know, I do not have money. There are a lot of ideas out there that do not require you to have a lot of money, but you can also start a business. So the key thing is that whatever dreams that you have, if you have one, you need to be persistent to pursue it, all right? So Colonel Sanders failed 1,009 times before he succeeded. So what about you? Are you going to give up too soon or too early, all right? So here we talk about persistent. Persistent is actually basically a state of mind. It's basically a state of mind, all right? So meaning to say is the learnable things, learnable skills to learn how to be persistent. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to share with you, you know, how to train yourself to be persistent. And this particular sharing that I'm going to share with you here is actually from Think and Grow Rich. I'm not sure how many of you have read the books, as I mentioned a while ago. Grab hold of this book. If you've never read any personal development book, grab hold of this particular book. And in these books, he talked about how to train yourself to be persistent. And I like this particular chapter because this is one of the best chapter for me. Reason is because a lot of people, including myself, I would actually give up too easily. Last week, we talked about there are two P's that is controlling our life. One of the P is called pain. The other P is called pleasure. Human beings have the desire to move towards pleasure and to move away from pain. So if we are able to manage these two P's, we'll be able to help us to be strong, to be persistent, to take our dreams to the next level. So always remember, human beings are actually controlled by these two P's. We have the desire to move towards pleasure and the desire to move away from the pain, all right? Meaning to say that whenever we are faced with a struggle, there is the pain, we will move away from it. Whenever we see there's a rewards, when we set our dreams, our goals, when we start to actually have our vision board that is drawn up, it is so exciting. We get so excited and we wanted to work towards it. But whenever we face with a struggle, we will take a step backwards, and that's where we slow down in terms of our journey towards the destination that we want to arrive at. So train yourself to be persistent. So there are 8 ways that I'm going to share with you. Number 1 is that definiteness of purpose. All right. So here we talk about having a strong purpose to know what you want. And perhaps the most important step towards the development of persistence is to know what exactly you want. What is your purpose? What is your big why? The stronger the why, the bigger, the easier for you to achieve your dreams and your goal. And the stronger the why, you'll be able to fight the forces to overcome any upcoming difficulties. You see that a lot of people, when do not have a purpose, they do not have a strong why, they will easily give up. They will easily give up. And they have been seen over and over again. People just give up too easily. All right. So have a definiteness of purpose. And number 2 is that you need to have a strong desire. It is comparatively easy to acquire and to maintain persistence in pursuing the objects of intense desire. So it has been said that if you do not know what you want, chances is that you will not actually move towards getting it. As what we have defined last week, that motivation comes from 2 words. One word is called motive, and the other word is called action. Without a motive, you will not actually drive you towards an action. So when you have a motive, you'll be plus that action, you will have the motivation to drive you. So the stronger your desire, the stronger and the more powerful that you're going to be in terms of persistent, in terms of pursuing your dreams and the goal. It's just like a fire. If you have a small fire will give you a small heat. So if you want a bigger heat, you have to have a stronger fire. All right. So that is very, very important. So number 3 here is that self-reliance. This is something that I learned, especially the time when I was a self-employed. One of the biggest challenge that I have is actually relying on people to actually do things for me. So when I start to practice this particular principle of being self-reliant, this way things start to change. There's a lot of things that we can do. There's a lot of things that we can empower ourselves to do it instead of empowering other people to do it. It's not that we would not delegate our work to other people, but the important is to be self-reliant, meaning to say that if there's anything that you can do it yourself, because this is very, very important. So having a strong belief in your own ability will help you to carry out objectives. So always know what you can do and what you can't do. What you can do, be self-reliant and make it happen and do it yourself. Having this belief will allow you to also follow your plan through with persistence. So very important, self-reliant. The next one is definiteness of plan. Even though organized plans may be weak and entirely impractical, they will encourage persistence. Very important is to have a plan. It may be a small little step that you have decided for yourself to take a certain action. It doesn't matter how small it is or how impractical it is very important to understand that whatever you start to take action, it will encourage you to actually have the persistence to pursue it. So always remember, you have a big plan, you have a big dreams, you have a big goals. And we have mentioned that you have to set measurable goals. And the next step that you did is to have a plan of action. Chunk it down step by step to help you to achieve the destination. Point number 5 here is that accurate knowledge. Knowing that one plans are sound based upon experience or observation encourages persistent. Guessing instead of knowing destroy persistent. So very important thing is that if you want to achieve success, if you want to be persistent in doing anything, if you do not have a certain knowledge, it's very important to acquire it. Especially when you are doing business, there are certain things that you need to know. There are certain experience that you have to go through. So it's very important for you to actually invest the time to acquire this knowledge and be accurate about it. When you are confident about what you want to actually, the knowledge that you want, you'll be more persistent in doing whatever that you are going to pursue. Cooperation, sympathy, understanding, and harmonious cooperation with others tend to develop persistence. And we did talk about it in a couple of other training before. It's talking about accountability partner, cooperating people, collaborating. Instead of competing, you collaborate with people. And this would also help you in terms of developing persistence. A lot of time when we really look at a big task that we want to do, and when you look at our team members in our organization, you realize that there are many of the team members who are very gifted, they are very talented, and they are able to contribute towards helping you to realize a big dream and big goals. And of course, we always wanted to establish what we call a win-win collaboration, where you will also add value. You will also add value to the life of other people within the organization. So one of the very powerful things that we may all consider is to set up a mastermind group, a group of people who will come together to mastermind together, to brainstorm together, to help one another to achieve the success that we wanted together, instead of everybody doing their own things, but we work together as a team. As TAM, team stands for together, everyone achieve more. So when you see that everybody are achieving a certain dreams together, they will also help you to develop persistence. Willpower. Number 7 is willpower. The habits of concentrating one's thoughts upon building of plans for the attainment of definite purpose leads to persistence. We always talk about staying focused. We are always talking about concentrating. Concentrating on one's thoughts upon building of plans for the attainment of a definite purpose. One, we are very clear of what we really want for ourselves or for our team or for our own personal professional life. And when we are able to concentrate and focus and put our thoughts together to have a plan of action, we will definitely be able to attain the results that we want. So this is a very simple principle. When you start to see small successes, we begin to inspire you, to motivate you to stay on course and to stay to be more persistent. Habit number 8 is habits. Persistence is the direct results of habits. The mind absorbs and becomes part of the daily experience upon which it feeds. We often say that our mind is a super biochemical, what I call computer. You can program your mind to do anything. And when you start to program your mind to do anything, you understand the computer language is garbage in, garbage out, ego. So it's very important for you to program your mind with positive habits, for you to take a certain action, for you to really be able to persist on doing whatever things that you're set up for. So number 1 is that program your mind for success. Program your mind with the habits of success. Program your mind with the habits of being persistent in everything that you do, irrespective of whatever challenges that you face. Fear the worst of all enemies can be effectively cured. Forced repetition of act of courage. So again, forced repetition, meaning to say that you repetitiously, program your mind to do a certain act of courage, would also help you in terms of being persistent. Everyone who has seen active service in war know this. They always have visualization. They program the mind. They hype themselves up to have the courage, to have the confidence to go out there and to make things happen. So these are some of the habits that you have to actually develop to train your mind. So the other thing is that the other 4 things that I want to share with you is the habits of persistence. The first one is actually step 1 is to a definiteness of purpose backed by a burning desire for your fulfillment, as we mentioned a while ago. If your burning desire is just like if you have a small fire, it will give you small heat. If you have a big fire, it will give big heats. And if you want to achieve great success, you need to be definite. Uh, you need to be clear. You need to be very, very clear of what is it that you want, your purpose, and have the burning desire for its fulfillment. Step number 2 is that you need to have a defined plan, express it in a continuous action. As it been said that people don't plan to fail, but people fail to plan. So if you want to achieve success, you have set yourself goals that you want to achieve, be it your personal goal in terms of losing weight for your health, be it achieving a certain rank at ASEA, you need to actually express it in a continuous action to make sure that you do repetitious action, to achieve it. What are the things that you do that you're going to get the results? And of course, very important is that you have always been said that you continue to get what you have always gotten if you continue to do what you have always done. So the key principle here is that every action that you take, what you need to do is to have a feedback coming back to you to see whatever action that you take, whether is it helping you to achieve the results that you want. If it's not, you got to change. And we did say that last week, for things to change, you got to change first, all right? So the first step that you got to do is that to understand that a closed mind tightly against, you have to close the mind tightly against all the negative, discouraging influences. One of the biggest failures of a lot of people for not persisting to pursue their dream is because they have been bombarded with a lot of negative thinkings by other people. So you got to guard your mind. I like what Zig Ziglar once said, that he said SNIOP simply stands for never be subjectable to negative influence of other people. You see, this is such an important subject here. The reason why I say this is that because every human being do talk to ourselves hundreds and thousands of times every day. And every second we are talking to yourself. It's a question of whether you talk to yourself positively or you talk to yourself negatively. And worst thing is that we allow other people to influence the way we think. And we're allowing people around us, be it our upline, our downline, our close line, be it our uncle, our auntie, our wife, our children, our friends, our doctors, our engineers, to influence us to think a certain way they want us to think, all right? So very important is that also look up for discouraging influences around us. When you set goals that you want to become successful, I'm pretty sure that when you start to share it out with people, you got to be very careful of who you share with, because there's a lot of people out there not supportive of whatever dreams or goal. What they wanted is to see that you are also not successful like them, all right? So discouraging influences, make sure you be aware of it, and you got to include negative suggestion of including like negative suggestions of your relative friends and your acquaintances, as mentioned a while ago. So this is one of the very important habits of the system, that one of the steps that you have to take. Make sure that you close your mind tightly. Don't allow any negative influence of other people. Wherever there's any negative influence from any other people, always remember to shield it and to replace it with something positive to help you to get to where you want to be. Like a journey of success have never been easy. Many a time, you have to be self-motivated. You have to be in control of your success. We did talk about, one of the very important success formula, E plus R equal to O. Simply stand for the events of your life, plus how you respond equals to O, that is the outcome. So very important is that never allow other people to subject you to think negatively, but always take control, responsive with the positive thoughts to get the outcomes that you want. The last important step that I want to share with you is that find a friendly alliance with one or more person, as mentioned a while ago. Start a mastermind group who will encourage you to follow through with both plans and purpose. So this is very important. Friendly alliance means that people will support you. As I mentioned, don't share your goals with people who are not supporting you. The only time when you want to share your goals to the public is the time as we mentioned last week, is that there are two P's that is controlling your life. One of the P is pain, one of the P is pleasure, is to be able to create a massive pain by sharing out to the world and tell the whole world that you want to achieve certain goals and dreams for your life, right? And to make it so painful that the next time when you arrive at that particular time where you set for that you want to achieve something and you're not achieving it, there will be a massive pain that you're going to get from people who are going to laugh at you, who are going to talk you down, who are going to make jokes of you. And with that, you share with the public. Otherwise, find a friendly alliance. Alliance where you call it a mastermind group, a group of people who have the same mindset, who wanted to come together to help one another to become successful, right? So here, I want to end this particular session by sharing with you this particular picture. And this is such a nice cartoon that is drawn on, it's talking about persistence, right? What you see on the first picture on top of you here is a guy who is working very hard trying to look for diamonds. And we are so grateful to be able to be part of the Diamond Makers groups under the founder and co-founder, Derek Chiu and Chong Se, who actually founded this group called the Diamond Makers Group. Basically is to develop diamonds in the organization of ASEA. Their dreams and their goals is to be able to build one of the biggest diamond group in the whole of Asia. So this particular picture shows us about a gentleman who worked very hard on the top there. Like every one of us here, we all do have dreams, right? And whatever dreams that we have, unless we take the action to go out there to make it happen, all dreams will one day be buried alive, right? So in our journey of success, each and every of our dreams that we have set for there will follow with what we call a struggle. All big dreams, unless the dreams are very, very small, you don't have to struggle, right? But you have a big dreams, like what we mentioned in the earlier seminar, that we want you all to dream big, don't dream small, because it just takes the same effort to dream big or dream small. But if you have a big dreams, you've got to expect a bigger struggle, right? So always understand this. If you have a dreams, it will be followed with a struggle. But in each and every of the struggle that we've gone through, the last aspect is always a victory. It is always a victory. So, but the unfortunate things is that a lot of people would not persist when they are faced with a struggle, when they are faced with rejections after rejections after rejection, when they are faced with obstacles. They will start to look at the obstacles as a stumbling block to them for them to move forward, and they will give up. When they're faced with dreams that they want to make it happen in the year of 2020, in the beginning of the year, they were so excited, setting dreams, and out of the blues, you know, here comes COVID-19, the unprecedented pandemics, and many people out there are struggling because of the pandemic, because of the crisis. And many people will just quit because of facing with this crisis. Many people out there do not have a hope, do not have a dreams. They have lost a dream. They do not have the belief that the future is going to be bright. So they are not willing to go through that struggle, and they step backwards, and they give up. We have always been said that winners never quit and quitters never win. And there's a lot of people out there, when they are faced with a struggle, they will throw in the towel and they call it a quit. They give up hope. And you know what? The second picture that you see here is that we encourage you to be persistent. You may be just inch away to discovering the diamonds that you want for your life. You may be working very, very hard for the last 1 year, 2 years, and 3 years, having a dreams of wanting to realize, but you work so hard and you do not see any victory. So if you have truly a dreams that is worth pursuing, you have a purpose that is worth pursuing, that are meaningful and purposeful to you, Always be persistent. Don't be like this gentleman underneath here who just give up too soon. He just inch away from discovering the diamonds. So here again, I said there are a lot of diamonds out there that represent your dreams. And you got to understand that you're going to face with struggle along the way in the journey of success. But the struggle would help you to shape you, to mold you to become a better person. And you get stronger through the struggle, and you sail through the storm, you eventually will have a bigger victory for your life. So be persistent. Don't give up too soon. Remember, the diamond may be just inch away from you being persistent to discover it. So with that, I want to pass over the mic to Derek Chew as I end this particular seminar.
Thank you, Mr. Poh Ted Ang. Wasn't that amazing? Wasn't that important for us to have consistent, persistent in our life? When I started with ASEA 3 years ago, when I started at that time, I was faced with a lot of challenges, you know, and from people that don't believe me to why am I doing that, to why do I have to do this, and so on. But I was persistent because I dream big. I visualize a goal. I know that this is a breakthrough technology. I know this is going to change the world. I know that this is going to impact the lives of many, not just in their health, but also the opportunity. And I know that this is going to be a very important and significant opportunity not to be missed. So, you know, the key thing is to keep on having focus, vision focus, like what the company has provided for us. It's a platform for us to be vision focused from part-time to full-time. I made a decision to deep dive into this. I've not regretted a single bit. I met a lot of great friends, a lot of great people along the way that want to share the goodness to the world, be the force of good. And this business model will reward you, your family, as well as your loved ones, for you to have that persistent effort. You don't have to be like Colonel Sanders with ASEA. You have to go through so many times in order for you to succeed. No, it's not really. It's just having the persistency and the stamina for you to keep on sharing. That's about all. And all the platform is there to provide for you. Our team is here to support you. The field leadership, the corporate, and everything is in place. For the reason behind it is that we're putting all this platform in place for you to succeed. So just get on board, keep on doing what you're supposed to do, and keep on sharing. And you realize that we have a winning technology and nobody has that. And we are in a position to conquer Asia as well as conquer the world. And we can only do it as a team. So thank you very much, Poh Ted Ang, for today's call. And thank you everyone for attending for this seminar. And I look forward to see you all soon and get close to you, and so that we can make more diamonds together. God bless you all. Thank you.